auditions are next week. You're welcome to come on by.
Excellent. I checked out a book on acting, so I should have the hang of it by then.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for cool behind-the-scenes facts about young Sheldon you might not know about.
Something that's making you question everything.
I'm so smart.
Number 10. Sheldon's music teacher was Leonard's drunken boat kiss. As we all know, Young Sheldon is a prequel series to The Big Bang Theory and takes place in the same world and timeline as the latter series. Therefore, the show's decision to cast Lance Barber as Sheldon's father after he'd played Leonard's old nemesis from high school on The Big Bang Theory is still something that gets talked about quite a bit.
Great to see you again, and thanks for the apology.
What apology?
For all the crappy stuff you did to me in high school.
Well, geez, you're still harping on that?
But that isn't the only recasting connection between the two shows. Melissa Tang, who played young Sheldon's music teacher Miss Fenley, also was Leonard's drunken boat kiss Mandy Chow on Big Bang.
You know, what we did when we were drunk.
Oh no, did I sleep with you too?
Nope, we just made out.
Oh, well, good for me.
Magician Teller played Amy's father, then played personified Puss on Young Sheldon. And finally, Vernee Watson played Nurse Althea on Big Bang and Nurse Robinson in the prequel.
Oh, it's Cooper again. Can you take it?
Number 9. Why Reagan Reverd carries around a stuffed dog toy. His name is Snowflake, and he is a white stuffed dog that actress Reagan Reverd has had since she was 5 years old.
The name of your future pony is Sparkle Sunshine. I would totally name it that.
Reverd, who plays Sheldon's twin sister Missy on Young Sheldon, actually had her eyes on Snowflake from the time she was 3 years old, but was told she was too young.
But when I was 3, I asked for Snowflake, and my great-grandmother was like, not yet, you're too young. And so when I got Snowflake, I was so excited.
The dog is one of many antique stuffed animals that her great-grandmother collected, and after she passed away, it made its way to her grandmother's house. Then on her 5th Christmas, young Reverd was finally gifted the toy.
She was my great-grandmother's.
Really?
And I had actually wanted her, but when she died, my great-grandfather, before he passed away, went over and got her for me for Christmas.
As of 2020, she revealed in interviews that she was still sleeping alongside the dog every night. You can even sometimes see Snowflake on Missy's bed on the show. Number 8. Sheldon's 2 moms are related. The character of Sheldon's mother was an important part of The Big Bang Theory, and Laurie Metcalf played her wonderfully, appearing in 14 episodes throughout the series run.
If Shelley was aboard, he'd write smart mouth on his pigeon. And then, bam!
The Lord giveth and the Lord bloweth away.
And sure, getting Metcalf to play Mary Cooper in the prequel series would have been great. But given that young Sheldon takes place 2 decades prior to the start of Big Bang, that probably wasn't realistic.
Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr.
So, instead of making Metcalf younger, they went and got a younger version of her. Her daughter. Yep. Zoe Perry, who plays Mary Cooper on Young Sheldon, is Laurie Metcalf's oldest daughter.
Didn't Oscar Wilde say all women become their mother?
It's happening sooner rather than later. I definitely called her up as soon as I knew that there was an audition in place. We were very excited.
Number 7. The cow in the opening sequence. The song used for the Young Sheldon opening sequence was written by the original Blues Clues host Steve Burns and is called Mighty Little Man. And while Sheldon does have a mighty brain and a mighty ego, he's also scared of a lot of things, particularly animals.
Dad, Sheldon got hurt.
How?
A chicken chased him into a mailbox.
Of course it did.
Which brings us to the cow. Not only does the cow serve to indicate the show's cattle-raising Texas setting, but the way it forces the mighty Sheldon to move over slightly also has been theorized to represent his fears. The intro has changed a few times throughout the run of the series, but the bovine has remained. And speaking of Steve Burns, he plays fellow nerd Nathan on the show.
Who's your friend?
Oh, he's not a friend, he's a stranger.
I met him on a Star Trek bulletin board. He had a copy of the episode Georgie taped over and brought it here.
Hello, I'm Nathan.
Number 6. Sabrina the Teenage Witch directed. While most of us wouldn't be able to pick a director of most Young Sheldon episodes out of a lineup, that certainly isn't the case for the 17th episode of Season 3.
You're getting a special thanks in the footnotes.
No one reads the footnotes.
I do?
Well, I do too, but that doesn't mean I want to be in them.
Sheldon, that's where people get recognition for helping.
The episode titled An Academic Crime and a More Romantic Taco Bell aired on March 5th, 2020, and was directed by Melissa Joan Hart. Yep, everyone's favorite teenage witch was at the helm for that episode.
My life has become such an adventure that Sabrina's World will never be canceled.
And while that was her first time in the Young Sheldon director's chair, through the show's first 6 seasons, she ended up directing multiple episodes.
So I could really use your help making it look more professional. Like, adding a little,
I think the word you're looking for is pizzazz.
That wasn't the first celebrity director the show had, though. The series' pilot episode was directed by none other than the creator of The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau. Number 5. The Wonder Years inspiration. The decision was made to use narration as a key storytelling device on Young Sheldon, but executive producer Chuck Lorre had never used it in a show before.
Of course, nobody I knew in East Texas in 1989 cared about Newtonian physics. The only Newtons they cared about were Wayne and Fig.
Knowing how narration can greatly change how creators write, Lorre and the gang looked for inspiration and help in figuring it all out.
Okay, we're off on a tangent. I'm taking over. Money can be a source of conflict in a relationship, even having too much.
Why, hey, this is my story.
I know. Jealous?
And what better place to go than the Wonder Years, the classic show from the 80s and 90s about a boy growing up in the 60s and 70s. As Lorre put it, quote, "We looked for inspiration that used it beautifully, and no one did it better than the Wonder Years."
There, that's me. Kevin Arnold, 1968. The summer before junior high school. There we go. And I don't mind saying I was a pretty fair little athlete.
Number 4. Ian Armitage's Audition. Ian Armitage was 9 years old when he was cast in the role of the titular young Sheldon. But even more impressive than just his age was the feat he pulled off at his audition.
Hey, how'd the audition go?
Great, I got the lead.
Of course, we all know that actors have to memorize lines, but Armitage had to memorize more than just a few lines for his audition. The 9-year-old had to be off-book on a 3-page monologue.
All these kids are coming in with it, and they were all really good, but Ian is the kid who's playing Sheldon, and his tape came in, and it was just kind of mind-blowing.
Needless to say, he nailed it and got a callback soon afterwards. And after meeting with Jim Parsons and co-creators Steve Malaro and Chuck Lorre, he got the job. Parsons even took Armitage under his wing and helped him really get the Sheldon character down pat.
He's such an incredible Sheldon coach, which is sort of a given.
You don't need much coaching. Oh, look at us working together.
Yeah, look at you.
Aww.
Those were the days.
So
You're off on your own.
Number 3. Kaylee Cuoco was Sheldon's nightmare pool. Over the course of the series, a number of actors from The Big Bang Theory have made voice cameos on young Sheldon.
Like we don't hear about your Nobel Prize all the time.
It's not my fault people ask about it.
Because you're always wearing it. You have it on right now.
Look how shiny it is.
Just tell your story.
Usually, the character they voice is the same one they played on the original series, but not Kaylee Cuoco. As we all know, Cuoco played Penny throughout the entire run of The Big Bang Theory. But when we finally heard her voice on young Sheldon, it wasn't as Penny, but rather as a swimming pool.
Ugh.
Why don't you like me?
You're full of bacteria.
So are you, but you don't hear me saying ugh. It's rude.
Or more specifically, the talking swimming pool in young Sheldon's nightmare.
Come on, my pH level is 7.4, and with 3 parts per million of chlorine, I'm cleaner than your daddy's plate after Thanksgiving dinner.
Talk about a role to dive into. Number 2, the show was Jim Parsons' idea. Young Sheldon probably wouldn't be a show if it wasn't for Jim Parsons.
But I'm already making one. I have an investor lined up and everything.
Well, you're still more than welcome to join us and we can all work on it together.
No, this is my idea and I'm doing it on my own.
And we mean that in a number of ways. If Parsons hadn't been so brilliant originally as Sheldon, The Big Bang Theory would not have been such a hit, and a prequel spin-off would not have even crossed anyone's mind. However, in a much more literal sense, there would probably never have been Young Sheldon without Parsons, because Young Sheldon was Parsons' idea.
We were going with my nephew. That was the first thing. He's a 10-year-old, he's 11 now, in Texas, he's very smart. And as we started talking about it, it was like, well, this is describing a young Sheldon, or it could be.
It was he who brought the concept of a Big Bang Theory prequel about his character to the producers and set the Young Sheldon ball in motion.
Now just make sure it's really you watching this, not an imposter. What am I thinking of? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Robot Monkey Butler.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Ian Armitage hadn't watched The Big Bang Theory. For most of its run, The Big Bang Theory was one of its most watched shows on television. But one of the people not watching the series was Ian Armitage.
Why can't we watch DuckTales? Because we don't learn anything watching DuckTales.
It's TV. We aren't supposed to learn.
Now, to be fair, Armitage was born in 2008 and The Big Bang Theory premiered on CBS in 2007. However, even as he was going for the lead role in Young Sheldon, Armitage still hadn't watched the Mothership series.
Fine, what would you rather do as a scene study?
I'm glad you asked. I took the liberty of adapting a Star Trek fan fiction novella I wrote when I was 10 into a one-act play.
As he revealed in an interview in 2018, the year after Young Sheldon premiered, other than a few clips, quote, "I haven't really watched Big Bang, though I would love to see it. Aww."
But I want you to know, in my way, I love you all.
Which Young Sheldon factoid shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments.
Also, if gravity were slightly less powerful, the universe would fly apart and there'd be no stars or planets.
Where are you going with this, Sheldon?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.